Hi, soul adventurers. Lori Appleby here, and it is the end of 2019, the end of a decade, and the beginning of a brand new year. So there's so much hype and different ways that people go leave a new old year and go into a new year. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to use the Soul Adventure game with setting some intentions for 2020. And these aren't really around specifics. It's more about what to focus on. We're in such a achievement based world, and truly we are moving away from that as we move closer and enter five dimension, and a lot of issues are coming up for many people, things that we've dealt with in the past, things that are old. And it could be a whole lot of stuff is coming up for you. It really just depends on where you are in your journey. And so I wanted to give you a way that you can have some intention going into 2020 without making resolutions, because resolutions don't really work. We're when we're following our intuition on an everyday basis, you really can't clearly define what it is that you want and what it is that you're going to do, because that changes as you evolve and as you grow, and that all depends on where you're at, if you have resistance. um, there's so many different things, and there's no right or wrong. But going into 2020 with some intentions, I think is really helpful, that you can focus on, and it's like a touchstone. So when things are getting chaotic or shifting or changing, um, very rapidly, because change, nobody really likes change. Some people do, but most people resist change because it's uncomfortable. And we all know that when we're uncomfortable, that is where the growth opportunities are. So, for your new year 2020 intentions, you can use the Soul Adventure game to set them, or to help you to set them. So you may already have some ideas around what you'd like to do different, or what you would like to focus on in 2020. So what you can do is you can choose two compass cards and choose, who do I need to be? Because we're always in the remembering process, and you may be stuck with a identity from your past, and you're working towards being who you truly are from your soul, right? So who are you being? And the compass cards are really great. So just take some nice deep breaths, at least 5 to 10 of them, so that you're really grounded and centered and present in your body. And then choose a couple of cards. But before you do, you can always, we want to just open ourselves. I'm open to receiving the messages, the guidance that I need to support me for the highest good of all in my new year and my new beginning. And every day is a new beginning, by the way. Every single day is a new beginning. It doesn't just start at the beginning on January 1st or end on December 31st. But with this new year, new decade, and with all this energy shifting and changing, where we're really being called to tap into our feminine, divine feminine, and our intuition, and into flow, and not so much into doing, but it's all about being, right? And there's a lot of old paradigms that we are breaking. This, I gotta work 9 to 5. Now maybe you are in a job that requires you to do that, but you know, you don't have to be that regimented on the outside of that. You can have more flow. So whatever paradigms or whatever constructs that you're breaking down, who am I being is really a great way to stay connected to your soul. So take some nice deep breaths. You are open, your heart is open, you are open to receiving the message and the guidance, and then choose 2 cards intuitively. So I'm going to do this right now in case somebody's watching that doesn't have the Soul Adventure game. And if you do want to get one, please see one of my facilitators, or you can message me, whoever, if you know one of the facilitators, or you can find it at souladventuregame.com. So I have pulled 2 cards. So I pulled I am worthy and I am acceptance. So I am worthy, I am deserving of love and abundance. It is my birthright. You see that? I am worthy. And this is so important for us in our remembering process of who we truly are, is that we are worthy of love and abundance. We are, it doesn't matter what we've done, this whole thing about, you know, judgment because we've sinned and all that. We are worthy. If you've made mistakes in your past, you are human and you have an opportunity to, you know, do your best to make your amends, and you are still worthy. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks about you, you are worthy. And this is such a big one to remind ourselves, because so many of us get stuck in this not feeling worthy, not feeling deserving, and that can really stop us from what we want for our life and connecting to who we truly are, because who we truly are from our soul, we are completely worthy of love and abundance. It is our birthright. So remember, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am acceptance. Acceptance is so huge. When we look at this from the spiritual point of view, there is no right or wrong. It just is. And that's where we want to get to this point, that it's not if it's right or wrong. Is it right for me? And that's about discernment. But being acceptance of all parts of ourselves, of maybe other people in our lives that we that trigger us, struggle. It doesn't mean you have to like them. It doesn't mean you have to be around them. But accepting them for who they are and trusting that they are doing what they're meant to be doing, whatever that is. It's not for us to judge. And they're in our life for a reason. And if they're triggering you, there's usually some growth. Not usually, there always is growth and learning opportunities. So the affirmation for this card is, I see the situation as it is in this moment without judgment. I see the situation as it is in this moment without judgment. I am acceptance. So 2 amazing cards. I am worthy and I am acceptance. So when you are feeling alone, when you are feeling fearful, when you are feeling stressed, when you are feeling not enough, go back to the compass cards that you pulled. And if you want to use the ones that I pulled because they're resonating with you, then do that. And then you can go to the chakra locator cards and you can pull 2 from there as well. So let's do that. So what part of me, what parts of me and whoever's watching this can we focus on that is needing our attention? This one seems to want to come, so I am going. That's great. Love it. And one more. Let me pull this one. Okay, so the first one I pulled is the real me. So isn't that amazing? Focusing on the real you. The real you is who you are without judgments, without inhibition, without filters. It's who you truly are. And this is our heart chakra. And our heart is where our soul lives. And our heart is where love is from. And love is the answer to everything. So loving everything that comes up for you, having love be your anchor in your life is so dramatically transformational. And I'm not saying we're always able to be in this space, but however, in your daily life, you really want to focus on being who you really are, your real you, the real me. It's our strive for all of our work with this game and in our personal development is we want to be who we truly are, right? We don't want to be who someone else wants us to be, or when we get to this point, we are looking to remember who we really are, right? Remembering that we are love, that we are peace, that we are joy, that we are innocent, that we may have times where we haven't been innocent, but our soul, that's what we're talking about here, okay? And the second one I chose was intuitive me. So intuitive me is your third eye, and really your intuition is what this game is really helping you to strengthen. So your intuitive me is that you're trusting that you're always receiving the guidance that you need in order for you to take your next steps, for you to make the best decisions. The decisions come from your intuition, and your intuition might not just be from your third eye, it may be from your, the lower part of you, our intuition from our solar plexus or from our sacral chakra, from our lower parts. So, but intuitive me is it comes through our solar plexus and then it will come up here, and then we can we hear it, or we feel it, or we see it, or however we receive our intuitive messages. So focusing on the heart chakra, focusing on the third eye. Every single person is intuitive. You may or may not be open to it, but it is our sixth sense. It's just been shut down, and it's something you have to develop. So it's about staying open and trusting and not putting any kind of expectation on how you're going to receive intuition. If you feel it and you feel it's intuition, then it probably is, right? So the last cards I'm going to choose for you are the Adventure Energy cards. So these are action-based cards, and what they're broken in three areas. So what can we focus on for our 2020 so that we can, keep continuing on our journey of to our real me, our remembering of who we truly are, our oneness. Oops, one fell out. We got the giving card. I love that. Giving, it's very altruistic. Giving is creating energy, and there's so many things you can be giving. You could be giving love. You can be giving your time. You could be giving your you could be giving yourself love. It doesn't have to be giving to someone else. You could be giving to yourself. So giving is the card. And I'm going to pull one more. So I invite you to write these cards down and or do your own if you have the game. And just keep those cards with you for your 2020. And if anything, you can really focus on those particular areas of yourself, because when you set the intention to receive guidance for this new year, and you're going to get what you need. Okay, I think I got one here. Oh, perfect. Receiving. We are giving and we are receiving. And I love this because without giving, if you don't have receiving, these are like the two polar opposites, right? Giving and receiving. It's a flow. It's a flow of energy to give and to receive. Giving without any expectation and receiving. So many of us, especially women, really struggle with the receiving. We're pretty good about the giving. Actually, sometimes we give more than what we have. We're giving maybe even from an empty cup, which we don't want to do because then we're giving from an energy that is in lack. So it's really important for us to receive and to fill our cup first and to be full of love and gratitude and lots of self-care. The world is, it doesn't tell us the importance of self-care and just having time to process rather than moving. Something I struggled with is moving from one thing to the next too quickly, and I didn't have enough time in between to process, so I wasn't allowing myself to receive. I just kept doing and not receiving fully what I was doing, whatever it was. So receiving and giving, I love this. Oh my gosh, like how perfect. So just to recap, I am worthy and I am acceptance with my real me and my intuitive me. And I love that because the Soul Adventure game is all about our strengthening your intuition and being who we truly are and giving and receiving. So that's what 2020 is for in my books. And these are the cards that I'm going to focus on. And if you don't have the game, feel free to use these cards if they resonate with you. And if you do have the game, which I think most of you do, please try this. Try this little. It won't take you as long because I talked more. It shouldn't take you very long. And write it down and journal on what these cards mean to you. What's coming up for you around these chakras. Check into the playbook that you have here. It's an electronic playbook and you can go right to the chakras. So we got two creating energies here. So I'm just going to go right to the creating energy at the back of the book. Because creating energy is, and this is a master builder year, so it is about creating, right? So one of the biggest reasons we are here on earth is to creatively express ourselves. Our bodies and our minds thrive on this, and we shine when we are creating from within. So coming from that heart-centered place, from your soul, that's where you want it to come from, not from up here in your mind. So it can be so many different things that you're creating from. However, some creating practices is intuitive play. So using the Soul Adventure game or playing intuitively or doing something intuitively, art, dance, anything like that, exploring new things with zero agenda. No agenda, just being open, just like a little child would. Children are so open to this type of play. They're just very open. There's no judgment. They just play, and they're very intuitive when they do that. And finding your passion and your purpose in life to ignite you and give meaning to your life. So start with what you love and do it daily. So even if you're still in a 9-to-5 job and it's something that you want to move away from, don't let that stop you from doing what you love. Find what you love and do it daily. Okay, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a long time. But when you do something consistently, it's going to bring you joy and it's going to bring you in that vibration that you want to be in. And then listening to music and moving your body, exercising, yoga, all great for boosting our creativity. So creating energy is the energies that we have received, or that I have, and whoever wants to use this reading for 2020 or do your own. So thank you so much for being with us in the group and in the Soul Adventure community. I am so very honored and grateful for your presence, for your continued support, for sharing the game, for sharing your readings that you get in our group, and for sharing this game with other people, because truly we are shifting into a world that the old ways are no longer working for us. They're no longer, they haven't been working for a long time, but we're really finding new ways of doing things, new ways of growing, new ways of empowering ourselves, and using games and playing, and more being, less doing, is where we're heading. It is where we are, and it's where we're heading, and there's going to be more of it. So things like the Soul Adventure game is really a great way to quickly um, connect with your soul, connect with who you truly are, and bring that, who that is, out into your daily life. So namaste, thank you so much, and we will see you in 2020.